Why didn't you say something to that girl earlier? Not worth my time. Cut the crap, dude. We both know you wanted to say something to her, so why didn't you? I guess I just got nervous. I mean, like, I don't know, I was sucked up in my head. I didn't know what to say. I was afraid that even if I said anything, I wasn't gonna sound confident. I'm not happy about it. Here, take these. Why are you throwing this at me? Because if you don't get this dealt with, that's the only intimate experience you're gonna have. Screw you, dude. This is serious. I want to get this dealt with. Alright, well, maybe this will help. This is what I did to get over being nervous with women. I realized I was the one choosing to be nervous. We have this idea that for some reason we're victims to the way that we perceive things and we're stuck with it that way and everything's set in stone, and if we feel a certain way about something, that's just the way it is and we can't do anything about it. And so when nervousness comes up and we're dealing with a woman, we think we're stuck with it for the rest of our lives. We think that we can either grin and bear it, or on the other side, we just completely let it hold us back in every area of life. We don't approach women. We don't do anything that nervousness stops us from doing. Now, what I realized was that there is a part of me, just like there's a part of you, that always feels small, always feels insecure, always feels nervous. And we have this tendency to think that that is who we are. But then I figured out that there's also a part of me that's confident, that's charismatic, that's not nervous to talk to women, it's excited to talk to women. And I decided I was gonna go with that part of myself. I realized that you can be whoever you want because it's within you to be whoever you want to be. We just have this tendency to buy into how small and unworthy we are and play the victim to that. I don't get it though. I've tried to fight my nervousness and every time I fight it, it just gets worse. What you resist persists. This is not about fighting the fact that you're nervous or resisting it. Because here's the thing, if you're fighting something, you're already giving it power. You're assuming that it's real, but the thing is, these feelings, this nervousness, it's not real. It's just something you're buying into. Think of it the same way that a shit test works. If somebody makes fun of you for something and you immediately defend yourself at the insult that they took to you, you're already giving credibility to the insult. The only way to deal with a shit test is to ignore it and be unaffected. You don't defend yourself, you don't fight against it. You simply are unaffected, and it's the same way with this. So when I see a girl and I get nervous, what do? You acknowledge that the nervousness is there without acting on it or fighting it, and you remind yourself that you are responsible for how you feel and for the results that you get in your life. So if you choose to buy into nervousness, that's on you, that's your responsibility. But you can also choose to go a different route. You can realize I have the power to be that strong, confident version of myself. I simply have to stop giving my power over to being nervous. This is kind of like becoming the alpha of your own mind. Most guys have been beat into submission in their own heads by their minds, so that they submit to the negative crap that gets fed to them about how they're unworthy, they're nervous, they gotta get this girl's approval. And it applies to every area of your life. And what you're doing when you're doing this is realizing you're in charge up here and you have the ability to choose for yourself how you're gonna see your reality, and your results are gonna be affected by that decision. How do I find this confident alpha version of myself? You just gotta look within yourself and you'll find it. The same way that you've got that weak, negative, insecure part of you that you keep buying into and you've decided to believe is you, you've also got the strong, confident part of you. The only difference is probably at the beginning of your life, you got fed a bunch of negative experiences and different things and you perceived them as bad and you bought into that and you decided you were the insecure one, you were the one who was nervous around women. You don't have to do that though. You just need to find that part of you that's strong and confident, and you need to embrace it and everything that comes with it. This sounds nice and all, but I cannot remember a time when I wasn't insecure and nervous around women. I just feel like that's who I am. That's because you bought into that and you didn't even know it. You were not made to be insecure and weak. That's just what you bought into because that's what your experiences led you to believe about yourself. I bet your first experience with a woman was negative, wasn't it? They've basically all been negative. So you were probably some kid who didn't know what the heck he was doing. You talked to a girl, she made you feel bad and insecure because she rejected you, and now you've been telling yourself the story and compounding it every single time ever since. Now that you know that you have the power to decide who you're gonna be, you have to take back responsibility over yourself. Nobody can tell you who you are or how you need to perceive a situation unless you let them. Choose to be that ultimate, confident, charismatic version of yourself, and that is what will happen. Don't let anything change your mind. Now, this isn't gonna happen overnight, but the way that I stopped being nervous talking to women or being around women was I decided that I wasn't gonna buy into the negative crap that I kept getting told about myself by my mind. You see, we don't realize it, but we're accepting this stuff every single time it happens, and we don't have to. And so every time it tried to control me, and it tried to make me feel negative, and it tried to tell me that there was a certain way where I was a victim and I was powerless and I was unworthy and I needed to get this girl's approval, I just reminded myself I was responsible for who I was gonna be. Now, eventually what happens is suddenly you're not nervous anymore, and you don't know how it happened, but you're just not. You're not nervous. You don't know why you were ever nervous. You're just confident, you're calm, you're cool, you're everything that you wanted to be because you decided to buy into that part of you instead of the negative part of you. There's a part of us that's capable of everything we want to be in life and everything that we want to accomplish in life, but instead we've been taught to buy into fear, buy into unworthiness, buy into being a victim, and so because of that, we never get to experience this. If you just embrace your power to choose who you're gonna be in this life, you'll realize that you can change any part of yourself, and that includes being nervous around women.